When it comes to the royal family, nothing happens in public by accident. Every entrance, every handshake, every seat placement, every smile, every awkward pause, every moment caught by a camera is instantly studied, slowed down, and interpreted. That is the reality of royal life. The public may see a greeting that lasts 2 seconds, but inside palace circles, those 2 seconds can carry a message much bigger than words. And that is exactly why Prince William's recent public interaction with Princess Beatrice has become so interesting. For months, the York family has been surrounded by uncertainty. Prince Andrew's reputation has remained deeply damaged because of his association with Jeffrey Epstein, and the pressure around him has not disappeared. Sarah Ferguson has also faced renewed scrutiny after her own links to Epstein returned to public attention. Neither Princess Beatrice nor Princess Eugenie has been accused of any wrongdoing, but in royal life, family baggage does not always stay neatly attached to only one person. The York name has become complicated, and because of that, Beatrice and Eugenie have found themselves in an extremely uncomfortable position. They are still princesses. They are still part of the Windsor family. They are still daughters of Queen Elizabeth II's second son, but they are not working royals. They do not carry out official duties for the crown. And in a monarchy increasingly focused on slimmed-down optics, accountability, and public trust, that leaves them in a very delicate space. For a while, many royal watchers wondered whether the sisters were being quietly moved out of the public frame. They were not highly visible at several traditional royal moments. Their absence from certain public-facing family events raised questions. Were they being kept away because of the ongoing fallout around their parents? Were they choosing to step back for the good of the monarchy's image? Had senior royals decided that the York sisters were simply too complicated to include while Andrew's controversies remained so fresh in the public mind? Those questions only grew louder as the royal summer season approached. Royal ascot, Easter appearances, memorial events, family weddings, and public ceremonies are never just private occasions when the Windsors are involved. They are visual statements. They tell the public who is in, who is out, who is being protected, and who is being kept at arm's length. That is why the sight of Prince William greeting Princess Beatrice warmly outside the church at Peter Phillips' wedding was so important. William could have kept his distance. He could have offered a polite nod and moved on. He could have avoided a clearly photographed moment altogether. As the heir to the throne, he understands better than anyone how closely these interactions are watched. He knows that every public gesture involving a controversial branch of the family will be analyzed. But instead of avoiding Beatrice, he leaned in and kissed her on the cheek. It was a small gesture, but in royal terms, small gestures can be loaded with meaning. This was not a grand announcement. It was not an official statement from Kensington Palace. It was not a press release saying the York sisters remain welcome inside the royal family. But visually, it sent a message that was difficult to ignore. Beatrice was not being frozen out, at least not in that moment. And for a family that communicates so much through images, that matters. The contrast with William's previous public encounter involving Prince Andrew could not have been sharper. Last year, footage of William near his uncle after the Duchess of Kent's funeral attracted major attention. Andrew, already seen as one of the most controversial figures in the royal world, appeared to be trying to engage with William. The body language looked uncomfortable, and many viewers immediately picked up on the tension. It was one of those royal moments where nobody needed a palace insider to explain the atmosphere. The discomfort was visible. That image made sense in the wider context. Andrew's public standing has been severely damaged for years. His connection to Epstein, his disastrous interview, and his loss of royal duties have made him almost impossible for the monarchy to publicly rehabilitate. Even before later developments and renewed scandal, Andrew was already viewed as toxic to the royal brand. So when William appeared awkward around Andrew, people read it as exactly what it looked like. The future king keeping distance from a man whose presence continues to be a major problem for the institution. But Beatrice is different. That is the crucial point. She is Andrew's daughter, but she is not Andrew. Eugenie is Andrew's daughter, but she is not Andrew either. The sisters have had to live with the consequences of their father's public downfall, even though they have not been personally accused of his behavior. That creates a difficult emotional and public relations challenge for the monarchy. How does the family separate the daughters from the scandal surrounding the father? How does it maintain compassion privately while protecting the crown publicly? William's greeting may have offered a clue. By publicly showing warmth toward Beatrice, he seemed to draw a line between the disgrace surrounding Andrew and the position of Andrew's daughters inside the wider family. It suggested that Beatrice, at least on a personal family level, has not been cast out. That does not mean everything is simple. A warm kiss on the cheek does not automatically guarantee a return to high-profile royal visibility. It does not mean Beatrice and Eugenie will suddenly be given major public roles. It does not mean they will be treated like working royals. And it does not erase the difficult questions surrounding royal housing, titles, invitations, or the future shape of the monarchy under William. But it does challenge the idea that the York sisters are completely out in the cold. For months, speculation has swirled around whether Beatrice and Eugenie would be included in key royal occasions. Their absence from some events created the impression that they were being managed carefully, perhaps even sidelined. Some suggested they had been effectively banned from certain royal appearances because of their family name. Others believed the sisters themselves were choosing to avoid creating more negative headlines for the monarchy. The truth may be more subtle. Royal families rarely deal in simple yes or no answers. There are layers. There is private affection and public caution. There is family loyalty and institutional discipline. Beatrice and Eugenie may still be loved as relatives, while also being kept away from certain official or highly visible settings when the palace believes the optics are too risky. That is why William's gesture was so carefully watched. It did not place Beatrice at the center of the royal machine. It did not elevate her into a working role, but it did show that the future king was willing to be seen treating her warmly in public. That is not nothing. In royal optics, being seen matters. This moment also came at a time when the York family's position has changed dramatically. Andrew is no longer viewed as a functioning royal figure. His public life has been heavily restricted, and his reputation remains a burden for the monarchy. Sarah Ferguson has faced her own renewed criticism because of past communications and associations connected to Epstein. The York family as a whole has been under a cloud. Beatrice and Eugenie have responded mostly by keeping a lower profile. That has likely been deliberate. Any public appearance by the sisters risks being framed through the Andrew scandal. Even when they attend family events for normal reasons, the headlines often drift back to their parents. That must be an exhausting position to occupy. They are adults with their own families and lives, but in the public eye, they remain tied to the York name. And yet, they're still part of the family. That is the tension. The monarchy cannot completely ignore them without looking cold, but it also cannot fully embrace them in public without inviting questions about Andrew. The result is a careful balancing act, and William's greeting appeared to be part of that balance. It was personal, not official. Warm, but not political. Public, but not overdone. That is exactly the kind of gesture the palace often uses when it wants to calm speculation without creating a new headline war. For Beatrice, the moment may have been especially meaningful. She has often been seen as the York daughter more closely connected to the wider royal family's formal world. She has appeared at major events, remained relatively discreet, and avoided the kind of public drama that has surrounded her parents. Eugenie, too, has continued to maintain royal family ties while building her own life outside official duties. But both sisters are now facing a future that could look very different once William becomes king. William is widely expected to favor a more modern, more focused monarchy. That could mean fewer non-working royals in prominent positions, fewer extended family members included in the public royal frame, and a sharper division between those who serve the crown and those who are simply related to it. Under that kind of system, Beatrice and Eugenie may still be family, but their public role could remain limited. That is why this wedding moment should not be overread. It was a sign of warmth, not necessarily a sign of restored royal status. It suggested that Beatrice is not personally frozen out by William, but did not answer the bigger structural questions. Will she and Eugenie continue to be invited to major public events? Will they appear at Royal Ascot? Will they be part of Christmas at Sandringham? Will they maintain access to royal residences or family privileges? Will their titles ever become part of a wider reform discussion? Those questions remain open. But what the moment did do was push back against the harshest version of the rumor, that the York sisters have been completely rejected by the rest of the family. They have not, at least not visibly. William's public warmth toward Beatrice made that clear. And in a royal family where silence often creates more speculation than answers, one image can do a lot of work. The photograph said what no official palace aide needed to say. Beatrice may be carrying the burden of the York name, but she is still William's cousin. She is still inside the family circle, even if her public royal future remains uncertain. There is also a human side to this that should not be ignored. It is easy to discuss royal people as symbols, but Beatrice and Eugenie are also daughters dealing with the consequences of their parents' choices and associations. They've had to watch their family name dragged through headlines again and again. They have had to make decisions about when to appear, when to step back, and how to avoid causing additional trouble for the institution their grandmother served for 70 years. That cannot be easy, and perhaps William understands that. He may be preparing for a stricter future monarchy, but he is still part of a family. Public discipline and private compassion do not have to be opposites. He can keep Andrew at a distance while still treating Beatrice with kindness. He can protect the crown while showing that the York daughters are not being punished publicly for everything surrounding their father. That is why the church greeting mattered. It was not dramatic. It was not emotional. It was not a grand royal reunion. But it was visible. And because it was visible, it carried meaning. For royal watchers, this moment may become part of a broader pattern. If Beatrice and Eugenie continue to appear at select family events, the message may be that they remain welcome in private and semi-public family settings, even if they are kept away from the core working royal image. If they remain absent from bigger royal occasions, then the palace may still be drawing careful limits around their visibility. Either way, the days of simply assuming the York sisters will automatically appear wherever the wider family appears may be over. The monarchy is changing. William is preparing for a future where public trust will be even more important. The institution cannot afford avoidable distractions. It has to think carefully about who stands in the frame and what message that sends. But for now, Princess Beatrice has received a very public signal from the future king. And it was not rejection. It was warmth. That does not solve everything for the York family. It does not repair Andrew's reputation. It does not erase the difficult headlines surrounding Sarah Ferguson. It does not guarantee Beatrice and Eugenie a smooth return to royal visibility. But it does suggest that the family bond has not been completely broken. In royal terms, that is significant, because sometimes the palace does not need to speak. Sometimes the message comes in a glance, a handshake, or a kiss on the cheek outside a country church. And this time, Prince William's message looked clear enough. Princess Beatrice may still face an uncertain royal future, but she has not been shut out of the family completely. So now the question is simple. Was William's warm greeting a genuine sign that Beatrice and Eugenie are being welcomed back into the royal fold? Or was it simply a polite family moment being read too deeply? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because when it comes to royal optics, even the smallest gesture can start a very big conversation.